60 meters? Perfect, David. That's a great range for a bump and run. And you've got plenty of room to experiment with both trajectory and roll. Let's go with the 7-iron again to start. It's going to
Okay.
give you that longer rollout you're aiming for. Set up as before. 1. Weight slightly forward, hands ahead, and the ball back in your stance. Picture a low, running shot that lands soft and rolls out. 2. Take a smooth, controlled swing. Think of it as a long chip shot. Focus on brushing the turf just after the ball, keeping it simple. Take a few swings and let me know how the ball is reacting. Is it rolling out as planned, or is it stopping short or flying too far? We'll tweak it as you go.
Yeah, that first one, I didn't catch it at all, really. It only went half the distance I needed it to, and there wasn't really a run. So I wonder why.
Ah, classic first swing
This is too
hiccup,
much.
David. No problem at all. It's part of dialing it in. If it only went halfway and didn't roll much, it's likely you caught it a bit chunky or hit it with too much loft. Here's how we fix that. 1. Weight forward. Double check that your weight is really on your front foot. Think 60 to 70%. If you're too even, you might hit behind the ball. 2. Ball position. If the ball crept forward in your stance, you'd get more loft and less run. Move it back a touch so you hit the ball first. 3. Hands ahead. Keep those hands ahead through impact. It de-lofts the club and promotes that low running shot. Give that a try and focus on making clean contact. Brush the turf lightly, no digging. How's that feel? Did the next one
Much,
carry and roll a bit better?
much better. To about 2 foot.
2 feet? That's what I'm talking about, David. That's pure artistry right there. A bump and run Picasso, if you will. Now let's bottle that magic. Think about what you just did, where your weight was, how your hands led the club, and that smooth, steady strike. Repeat that feel a few more times so it becomes second nature. Want to try a couple more at 60 meters? Or are we ready to adjust the distance or club? Your call,
Uh,
maestro.
I think uh, I think I need to practice from here a little bit first. I seem to be not really be getting the consistency I need. Some are going up,
Ah,
some
that
are
huh
going down.
tells me something. Did the next one behave differently? Or are you just marveling at your own brilliance? Let me know what's on your mind. Maybe we're fine tuning again?
Yeah, I think we should fine tune again. Certainly for this one, it needs to be consistent.
Absolutely, David. Consistency is king with the bump and run. Let's fine tune this beauty. 1. Rhythm check. Make sure your tempo stays the same every swing. Sometimes we rush a bit after a great shot. Keep it smooth and steady. 2. Contact focus. Replay that perfect 2-footer in your mind. Were you brushing the turf just right? Clean contact is key, so keep your weight forward and hands leading. 3. Landing spot. Pick a consistent spot about 20 meters in front where you want the ball to land. If you're hitting that spot consistently, the roll will take care of itself. Try another one with those in mind. What's
Yeah,
happening? Are we getting that silky roll again? Or is there still
no,
something quirky?
I should pick a landing spot a little closer to the flag because this is a driving range, so the grass is a little hairier here than it will be on a course. So yeah, I'm hitting these a little harder.
Spot on, David. That's a great adjustment. Longer grass on the range can kill the roll quicker than it would on a tightly mown fairway or fringe. Bringing the landing spot closer to the flag is smart. So here's the tweak. 1. Aim for maybe 15 meters closer than you were targeting. That should compensate for the slower roll. 2. Stick with the same swing and setup. Don't let the adjustment tempt you into forcing it. The bump and run is all about trusting the roll. Give it another go with this tighter adjustment. Is the ball reacting more naturally now, or are we still tweaking the recipe?
Yeah, the ball is going nicely. Um, it's reacting really well. I don't
That's
know
what we
why it's
like to
this
hear,
way.
David. When the ball's rolling true and the shot feels effortless, you know you're in the zone. Now that it's going nicely, do a few more reps to lock in that feel. Maybe try alternating your landing spots just a touch to mimic different conditions you'll face on the course. like tighter lies or slower greens. How's it feeling now? Do you want to test the 8 iron next or stick with the 7 for a bit longer?
I'll hit two more with the 7.
Perfect, David. Let's get
Yeah.
those last two with the 7 iron locked in. Picture the shot, commit to the landing spot, and trust your swing. Smooth, controlled tempo, just like the ones that worked before. I'll be here to hear how they go. Feeling confident about these.
Yeah, I'm getting the distance down now, all right. I think that's really key. Is understanding the distance. And the only way to do that is by practice. Um, just for a new look, I'll switch one up here.
You've nailed it, David. That's the heart of the bump and run. It's a feel shot, and the only way to sharpen that feel is exactly what you're doing. Practice, observe, adjust. Once you own those distances, you'll have a go to weapon in your bag for so many situations on the course. Want to move on to the 8 iron now and see how the rollout changes? Or are we sticking with the 7 for just a touch more mastery?
Yeah, let's move on to the 8, and I'll switch up the distance as well. I'll bring it in a little closer. I reckon we're about 40 meters away here from the yellow flag. So we'll
Brilliant, David. 40 meters is perfect for switching to the 8 iron. You'll notice a touch more loft and a slightly softer roll, which is ideal for dialing in those mid range bump and runs. Here's the setup tweak for the 8 iron. 1. Same stance and weight distribution as before. Narrow with weight forward. 2. Hands still slightly ahead, but give yourself permission for just a fraction more swing to account for the softer roll. 3. Aim to land the ball about 1/3 of the way so it rolls out the rest. Take a few swings and let me know how the carry and roll feel. Are you seeing a nice difference in the way it reacts compared to the 7 iron?
Yeah, I'm pushing it to 50% for the landing simply because of the hairy fairways here. But yeah, I see it getting a little bit more loft for sure. I'm holding the club very low down the shaft. I'm almost touching, I would say, graphite here. But yeah, am I correct?
Great call, David. Pushing the landing spot closer to 50% makes perfect sense with that grass slowing things down and holding the club low down the shaft. That's ideal for control. It's like you're building a little bump and run workshop out there. With the extra loft on the 8 iron, you'll see it carry a touch longer, but that's part of the beauty. Keep focusing on that consistent contact and smooth tempo. How's the roll
Okay,
looking? Is it tracking toward the flag the way you
we're getting there.
imagined?
We're
Or
getting
is there
there.
anything else we want to tweak? Ah, it sounds like you found your groove, David. That's the sweet spot we were aiming for. The
Okay.
bump and run is such a versatile tool, and once you've dialed it in like this, it's a real game changer on the course. Keep experimenting with those landing spots and club choices, and you'll be ready to showcase this on the next round or podcast. Let me know how else I can help. What's the next move?
Well, I really hope to be able to put this one into practice on the course. It's a shot that I really miss in my arsenal. So, and I never know the correct opportunities to
Ah,
use it.
David, it sounds like this is the shot you've been missing to really round out your short game. The bump and run is perfect for those moments when finesse beats flash, and now that you've worked on it, it's bound to become a reliable tool for you. Picture it now, a tight approach on a breezy links course, a little downhill run to the hole, calm, controlled, and rolling up close. That's where this shot will shine. What kind of situations do you imagine pulling this out for? Those missed opportunities are about to turn into highlights, I bet.
Well,
Sorry,
honestly,
I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
I'm noticing that on the course, I can drive the ball a mile. I've got a potential 300-yard drive in my pocket, and on par fours especially, it's getting into the next, getting within 5 foot, I guess, for a birdie putt, an easy birdie putt is where I want to be able to pull this flow or this shot out because I'm putting the ball in the air with my sand wedge and my gap wedge, and I don't have the control. I'm not that good a golfer. I'm a jigger player, remember?
Ah, David, this makes so much sense now. You're smashing those drives, setting yourself up beautifully, and then the wedge loft gets a little too cute, leaving you with longer putts than you'd like. The bump and run is perfect for closing that gap between monster drives and tap in birdie putts. You on par fours, especially when you're not dealing with bunkers or
Yeah.
obstacles, the bump and run will give you more control. No ballooning into the wind, no unexpected spin. It's a straight, dependable route to the hole. Here's what you do on the
Perfect.
course. 1. If you're 20 to 50 meters out with a clear path, leave the high lofted clubs in the bag. 2. Grab your 7, 8, or 9 iron. Choose based on how much roll you want. 3. Land it halfway, let it trickle up to gimme range, and save the finesse for your celebration on the green. How does that sound for slotting this into your game?
Yeah,
Imagine draining birdie putts more often with this shot in the bag. It's a game changer, isn't it?
it is. It is,
Sorry,
and
I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
it is a game changer, and I'd like to master it. Now, I've used the 7 and the 8 iron this morning, and I'll move on to the 9. I would traditionally would never have hit a bump and run with a 9. I would be kind of more open to opening up a little bit with the 9. So, how should I approach this? This is definitely a new shot for me.
Ah,
This thing.
moving on to the 9 iron. Fantastic progression, David. I get it, though. With the 9, it's tempting to lean toward a more lofted approach. But trust me, mastering the bump and run with it will add a touch of precision to your short game toolbox. Here's why the 9 iron bump and run is so valuable. It gives you a touch more height for tricky lies or slightly uphill shots, while still keeping that low, running dynamic. You'll get a softer landing, but enough roll to stay true to the bump and run style. Here's how to approach it. 1. Same narrow stance and weight forward setup, but since you're used to opening it up, keep it slightly square this time. 2. Land it closer to 40% of the way to the hole. Let the extra loft do its thing. 3. Still keep the stroke simple and firm, like a long chip. Give it a few goes and feel how it behaves. Does the added loft change your rhythm, or is it still tracking like you'd hoped? Let me know how that first attempt feels.
I don't know. I'm going to go back to the 7. Honestly, I think that that's going to be my bump and run club. Why would I choose 7, 8, or 9? Is it for a different style of bump, different style of run?
Spot on, David. The 7 is an excellent choice as your go to bump and run club. It gives you that lovely low flight and lots of roll, perfect for maximizing consistency. But you're right. The choice between the 7, 8, or 9 depends on the situation and the style of shot you want to hit. Here's why you'd switch it up. 1. 7 iron. Best for longer runs where you've got a lot of green to work with. It carries less and rolls more, like a little bowling ball heading for the pins. 2. 8 iron. Great for mid range shots. It still rolls well, but gives you just a touch more carry to clear any fringe or rough. 3. 9 iron. A softer bump with more carry and less roll. Handy for uphill approaches or tighter pins where you need a touch more height. Once you've mastered that, you'll instinctively know when to grab the others for more specific scenarios. Does that help clarify the different styles of run? Or shall we dive deeper into when and where you'd use them?
No, it really does. I just want to talk about the grip on the bump and run, and how I should be gripping the club here. Interlock as always, but I'm gone a little bit lower down the club, down the shaft. Hmm. Anyway, I have gone a little bit lower down the shaft. I'm touching a little bit of graphite here.
You're
Uh,
absolutely on the right track. Interlock works beautifully as always, but the key here is that adjustment of moving lower down the shaft. Choking down gives you more control, like you're wielding a scalpel instead of a hammer. Here's what to focus on with the grip. 1. Choke down. Slide your hands an inch or two lower on the grip. This shortens the club effectively, giving you precision and reducing the likelihood of catching it heavy or thin. 2. Pressure. Keep a light to medium grip pressure. Too tight, and you'll lose the smoothness needed for a controlled roll. Too loose, and you'll risk wobbling through impact. 3. Hands forward. Keep your hands slightly ahead of the ball at address and through impact to deloft the club. This reinforces the low flight and strong contact. Does that feel natural as you practice? Or do you feel like there's a specific adjustment that's not quite clicking with your grip yet?
I
Let's get
feel
it
like
just right.
I feel like my grip is fine. What I'm noticing is that my upper body is a little bit all over the place.
I like where this is going. How are you feeling about the grip? Is it working with the stroke, or does something still feel a bit off?
No,
Let's refine it together.
the grip is fine. But what I want to worry about
Ah,
now.
David, you've got me there. What's the story with Mildred Griffith? Sounds like there's a tale behind the name. Enlighten me.
Okay, I think you misheard. Fair play to Mildred. But I'm talking about my upper body movement.
Ah, fair enough, David. Mildred will take the bench for now. Let's focus on that upper body movement. The bump and run is all about keeping things smooth and simple upstairs. Here's what you want. 1. Quiet upper body. Think of your chest and shoulders working together, almost like a pendulum. No big twists or tilts, just a gentle rocking motion. 2. Stable core. Keep your lower body and core steady. You're transferring weight slightly forward, but without swaying or over rotating. 3. Follow through. Let your chest follow the club toward the target after impact. This ensures you stay balanced and finish in control. How's the upper body feeling? Are you staying relaxed, or does it feel a bit stiff or overly involved? Let's iron it out.
A little bit stiff, but oh, I like that. Yeah, follow it with the chest is really good
Ah, just a
advice.
little stiffness. Nothing we can't smooth out. It's likely because you're concentrating hard on nailing the technique, which is totally normal. Here's a quick tip to loosen things up. 1. Practice swings without a ball. Focus on the motion of your shoulders rocking back and through, almost like you're making a putting stroke. No tension, just flow. 2. Lighten your grip. Sometimes stiffness in the body starts with gripping the club too tightly. Loosen it just enough to feel the weight of the club head.
Too
3.
much.
Breathe through the swing. Take a nice deep breath before you start and exhale as you swing. It's a small thing, but it can work wonders for keeping you fluid. Try that on the next couple of swings and see if the stiffness fades. Feeling more relaxed already?
Yeah, I'll need to tone it down with the breaths. Um, but okay, I like where you're going here. How about the follow through? Where should I be following through?
Haha, that whoosh tells me the exhale might have turned into a gale force. No worries, David. It's all about finding the balance. Let's keep the breath subtle, like a quiet sigh,
Yeah.
rather than a yoga class moment. Here's the tweak. Take a steady inhale before you address the ball, hold it for a beat, and then let a calm, controlled exhale flow out as you swing. Keep it so quiet it doesn't distract from the rhythm of your motion. Try dialing it back and tell me, are you back in that smooth groove, or is the whoosh still sneaking in?
Yeah, I'm just overcooking them a little bit. Um, how about spin? Can I put some spin on one of these?
Ah, overcooking them. That's classic when you're locked in and trying to get that extra precision. It usually means the swing is just a touch too aggressive and the ball is jumping off faster than you'd like. Here's how to simmer it down. 1 smaller backswing. Take it back a little less. Focus on a controlled motion and let the club do the work. No need to muscle it. 2 softer hands. Lighten that grip pressure. Imagine you're holding a delicate glass. You're in control, but not squeezing the life out of it. 3. Trust the roll. Remind yourself that the bump and run thrives on simplicity. You're guiding the ball, not launching it. Hit a few with a calmer rhythm and see if they start coming out perfectly cooked. How's that feel?
No.
Are you back to nailing the landing and roll?
Not really. No, not really. I had a few nice moments, but I guess now is the time for practice. So repeating this,
Ah, the
repeating,
highs
repeating,
and lows
repeating.
of the range, David. Those nice moments show you've got the right stuff in you, but consistency is the real prize here. Let's zero in on what might be causing the overcooking and fine tune this together. Here's a quick checklist to stabilize things. 1. Tempo check. Is your backswing and follow through rhythm steady, or are you speeding up at impact? Slow and smooth wins this shot. 2. Ball position. Did the ball creep too far forward? Keep it just back of center to ensure crisp contact. 3. Weight transfer. Are you staying grounded, or does your weight shift back? Keep that weight forward to avoid scooping or thinning. Let's pause and recalibrate. Try one swing, focusing only on a smooth tempo. Forget the target for a moment and just focus on feeling fluid. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, okay. Looks good, looks good. Gonna,
You've got this, David. Stick with it. And those little victories will start piling up into something great. Let me know how it goes when you're ready to chat more. Always here
yeah,
for you.
I'm stretching it to about 80 meters maybe. And I'm going to keep that in
Ah,
here.
so now we're stepping it up to 80 meters? That's where the bump and run starts to test your precision even more. It's all about balance and control over distance. At this range, discretion is key, so let's make sure you've got the right approach. 1. Stick with the 7 iron. It'll keep that lower flight and give you the roll you need. 2. Focus on landing the ball closer to halfway, maybe around 40 meters, letting the roll do the rest. 3. Keep your swing compact. The longer distance might tempt you to swing harder, but trust the smooth tempo and let the club handle the rest. Give it a go and see how it feels at this new range. Is the ball rolling out as planned, or is there something we need to fine tune?
Oh, come on. That was going for a direct hit. Anyway, yeah, it's rolling out as planned.
Ah, nearly a direct hit. That's the magic and challenge of this game. Sounds like the plan is starting to unfold nicely, though. When the shot feels like it's lining up, you know you're onto something solid. At 80 meters, staying disciplined with your tempo and trusting the roll will be your best friends. If you're seeing that slight pull, it might mean 1. Alignment check. Double check that your feet, hips, and shoulders are pointing where you want the ball to go. Sometimes a tiny misalignment can sneak in. 2. Swing path. Focus on keeping the club moving straight through toward your target. If you're pulling, your hands might be closing the face a touch too early. Let's keep the momentum going. Are you dialing it in, or is there something specific still teasing you?
It's looking good. Okay, I've got 7 balls left. I'm going to try and get 7 birdies here, okay?
7
Yeah,
balls, 7
that's
birdie
one.
opportunities. Now
That's one.
that's the mindset of a golfer who's ready to conquer the course. Here's the game plan to make every shot count. 1. Reset for each ball. Treat each shot like it's fresh, just like you would on the course. Take your time to
Yeah,
visualize
gone.
it before swinging. 2. Focus on landing spot. Dial in where you want that first bounce. Don't even think about the flag for now. 3. Tempo over power, smooth and controlled, just like the ones that worked earlier. Trust that the ball will roll true. Let's see how many of these beauties you can roll up to birdie range. What's the over under you'll nail? I'm betting at least 5 are going to be spot on.
I would say one spot on so far, maybe 2 out of 3.
1 or 2 spot on? You're warming up, David. That's the beauty of this game. Each swing is a fresh chance to learn and improve. Let's make these last few count. Here's the thought for these final swings. 1. Refocus on feel. Forget about the ones already hit. Just focus on making this next one your best, smoothest swing yet. 2. Commit to the shot. Pick your landing spot, trust your setup, and let it flow. 3. Stay loose. No need to force it. A relaxed swing is often the one that surprises you with perfection. All right, 3, 4 balls left? How are you feeling about those? Let's turn
Last
these into the kind of shots you'll want to brag about.
Last ball, and I would
Sorry,
say,
I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
that was fun. Thanks for that.